Hi, mate. Hi, Richard. Can you hear me? Okay. Just let me know if you can hear me because I can't hear myself. Can't hear myself. No. Charlotte is the daughter of the Pike Whisperer, as I'm going to call him from now on. Hang on, I'm trying to get some drink. Right, Charlotte, you need to get your dad to click on that link that I sent him, and then he can appear on here with me. Cheers, everybody, by the way. Sharksmith Angling, mate, I'm fine. I'm good. I don't know if you managed to get to the premiere for that pike fishing video, but thanks, Richard. It was a good day. It was a good couple of days. Okay, cool, good. I've sent him a link on Messenger. I think he just has to click on it and then do whatever it tells him to do, and then I'll come up there. I have to allow him into the studio. Something will come up telling me that you're trying to get in, and then he'll appear on the screen as well, and he can join in the chat. So, oh well, I'll tell you what, Alex, Charlotte's on here, but her dad, Alex, had this pike. Well, it was a fish of a lifetime, to be honest. I think. I'm sure people do catch bigger pike. I know people catch bigger pike, but it's not an everyday thing. The weird thing is, I don't know. You don't see on this StreamYard thing how many people are on here, and why don't you put a link to the top of YouTube? At the top of YouTube. If I knew how to do that. The only trouble is that I want to try and limit who's on here. I just want me and Alex on here, really. I've sent him the link. And that's, as I understand, it's just a case of him clicking on that link and it will bring him in. It's a bit weird because I've got no sound. I can't hear anything. I had quite a fun day on the beach today as well. Had quite a fun day on the beach today. Only small stuff, but it was busy, didn't stop. And I tried to do a live, but I just couldn't get a phone signal. Yeah, I wanted to say I want to try and limit how many people are on here at the moment. What else has everybody been up to? Anybody been doing some good fishing at the moment? So it's that time of the year, isn't it, when spring is on its way. Hey, Nicky, how you doing? I'd like to say it's been a relaxing evening, but I announced this afternoon on the beach that I was going to premiere that video, and then suddenly realised that actually there was quite a lot of work still needed to be done to the video, and I hadn't rendered it, and it hadn't been uploaded yet, so I had to rush home, and it's been a bit frantic. Then we had to make some necessary edits to it because of issues that have been raised. So I had to edit and do it all again, but we managed to get it out by 9 o'clock, so I'm quite pleased with that. But it was a bit of a rush, and I've done it at a lower resolution than I normally like to do because of the speed of uploading it. Yeah, mate. I can't wait to get the boat out. I don't. It might be worth going out soon. I think the place is starting to show up. The pollock is starting to show up. But yeah, I need to get my boat out. Get fishing. Tied some conger rigs. Yeah. Don't know what my target species are going to be off the boat. One of the things I want to do more of, and I haven't done it on this coast is to actually do a lot more inshore bass casting and fly casting for bass. So get up underneath Beachy Head, get some baitfish, to go and hunt out the schools of bass under Beachy Head and cast lures to them. And once found them, to actually try and have some on a fly as well. So that's definitely one of the things I want to try this year. I'd like to have some more decent tope. Had some good tope last year. Rays. I'd like to have a shark. I must admit, I would like to have a shark. Whilst we still can catch them, because I think it's going to be very long before you're not allowed to catch sharks. Certainly not allowed to catch poor people. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. I think that the reason they call it a subscription, and a lot of people are reluctant to click the button because they think by subscribing to something they're committing themselves to something financial, when in fact it's free, and there is no commitment whatsoever by being subscribed to a channel. They ought to call it follow or something, not subscribe. It's the wrong name for it. It's amazing when you look at the viewers of my videos. Only about 40% are subscribers. 60% of the people who watch your videos aren't subscribed to them. Now, I don't know what difference it makes to me to have however many thousand subscribers. Other than it's kind of a pat on the back, you see your subscriptions go up, and you think, well, people are liking what I'm doing. I don't know if it changes YouTube. Yeah, big shark. What was? Did you have big sharks last year, or what? I don't. Forgive me, but I don't. I've got a dreadful memory of what people tell me. So, did you have a shark last year, or did you have sharks last year? I think I might have to go and get something to nibble on while I'm drinking this whiskey. I've eaten very little. In fact, I really haven't eaten anything. Although always a bowl of soup. I'm trying to lose some weight, but 5 took over 30 pounds. Awesome. Where are you based? Where do you fish out of? I mean, I must admit, I did have a couple of trips out last year for sharks, and no joy. Oh, Portsmouth. Oh, okay. Well, not a million miles away from here. Where are you going out around the back around the back of the Isle of Wight? Because I know that the Isle of Wight is good for blues and porgies. I think that the belief is that you don't get them up this far, but we certainly get threshers up this far. And there were a few threshers spotted last year. I don't think people realise actually how much preparation work there is in going shark fishing. It's not just something you can pop out. Yeah, I can almost see you then. You can almost see the Isle of Wight from here. I don't think you can. People think they're seeing the Isle of Wight, and actually they're seeing the hill behind Worthing. But it's just over the horizon. The sharks must come up this way. They must be moving up this way, and I can't think it's going to be that much longer before we start seeing bluefin tuna up here as well. They seem to be getting everywhere. We certainly had loads of dolphins last year. I've never seen dolphins like that. Oh, there you go.
Brother?
Well, there we go. Up, mate.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Good. Cheers.
Well, same again. Cheers.
Yeah.
How we doing? How we doing in CJ?
Yeah, mate. Good. Let me introduce you to everyone. This is Alex. This is the Pike Whisperer, as I'm now calling him. And yeah, so Alex was the proud catcher of that awesome pike, outstanding pike.
Well, like I said to you, that burbot law, it just does magic.
Well,
Cast it in.
I have ordered a load.
Yes, as you did say.
Yeah, I have ordered a load, and I will go into the bait bucket and probably buy some more as well. Yeah, we can't have.
So that 4D perch done wonders as well. As you look down the bank on the second mark, where I set you up, where I caught my first one, that 4D perch, lovely action.
Yeah. Well, I've got a similar fish to that, like a similar perch to that, but as I said, it's a very fast sinker, and it was too fast sinking. It was just going to the bottom almost instantly, and so I was having to retrieve it quite quickly to keep it off the bottom. So I'll have to look out for some.
I do have a couple of others, like different perch lures, but not had much success on them. Need to make it a stinger.
Yeah.
But I mean, it sinks well.
Yeah. I want to try and get them on the flies. The next thing, I've got some cracking flies for them. They're all in the back of the car at the moment. I've been watching. There's a series on YouTube. Some Finnish guys who go pike fishing up and right in the Arctic Circle on the fly, and they use flies, but they've got a long ripply tail out the back of them. I managed to get some of those. So what I was tempted to do was to actually put a cheb on them and fish them as a lure initially to see if they work, and then if they work, then start concentrating using them on as a fly.
Well, like I said, something very leery just attracts them. Something eel like, perch like. Yeah, that's what they're feeding on this time of year.
Yeah. I mean, they're obviously slow moving at the moment because that little jack I had leeches on it, and my recollection back in the day was that's because they're lying on the bottom. You know, they kind of go fairly dormant in the winter, and they lie on the bottom, and the leeches are able to get onto them. But as you say, they'll start because they'll be starting to partner up and mate. Hello, Jay. All right, mate. How you doing? They'll be starting to partner up to mate fairly shortly, which is why the close season is when it is. That will definitely affect their behaviour. Whether they become fixated on it. I think the bass. Everyone talks about this May rot in the sea, and then the fishing goes off in May. I'm convinced yes, there is May rot. There is rafts of algae out there, but also the fish are preoccupied in mating.
This year we didn't have a lot of May rot. I was not getting many on my leaders at all. So
I did see quite a lot actually. I did see it. And out at sea, you'd see quite big rafts of it going through, and the lines are coming up with like blobs of jelly on them.
Well, normally I'm speaking to the boat anglers and saying what is the Mayrot like to affect my fishing, obviously off the shore. Because when I know obviously they're catching the rot, I'm going to be hitting that in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So then I can then play my part.
I think it was quite broken up this year. I think this last year it was quite broken up, so it was in patches. There wasn't a huge raft of it. So if you were unlucky, you'd get it. But there was definitely hello cat.
Excuse the cat.
Yeah, it's all right. It's like the dog. As long as the dog don't see it, because he'll try jumping through the bloody screen at it. Yeah. Anyway, there's a few people on here. Yeah, trout for black pike. My biggest pike, which was £21, so not as big as Alex's. That was caught on a frozen rainbow trout, dead bait. And sharks
for out there, obviously with for out there for the viewers is just because obviously you've gone into the rivers because you don't like the sea fishing. Get on the channel whiting.
Yeah.
The channel whiting, pike love them.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that a lot. I mean,
absolutely love them.
I'll tell you what else up where we were fishing is I'm sure that you get thin lip mullet up there in the sort of
yeah, you said that.
And pike do eat them. Pike will eat them. So there's a place I'm going to go to at Lewis this week to have a look at where the thin lips are coming along and they sit in a stream of fresh water to clean themselves. And quite often you'll get a big pike hanging around the back of them, looking to pick off the smaller ones, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, catfish. I don't know if I said hi, Jay. I meant to, but I was sidetracked. Hello, Jay. Yeah, back to what Sharksmith was saying. You're right. There's an awful lot of work in getting a shark fishing trip together. Obviously, making the chum, the fuel, but you've got to get it out. You've got to get your tide and your winds and everything right as well. So it's got to be bang on. It's not just something you can go out and just do. And if the fish aren't there, you ain't going to catch them. So you can get everything right, but if there isn't the fish there, you're just wasting your time. And particularly in this area. I mean, if down in Cornwall or something like that, a bit different. I think there's a lot more sharks down there, and the chances are. I mean, I know
thing with sharks. If the bait fish are not there, they're not there. Same as the tuna. If the bait fish are not there, they're not going to be there. You got to find the bait fish.
Yeah. Well, this year the mackerel were there. There's a lot of freshers seen, so it was all right this year. I just couldn't get it. We just didn't get it right every time we tried for it, to be honest.
See, I've got a couple of little methods I've got this year to do off a certain couple of marks. Obviously, with fresh mackerel, with a bottle. That's my target.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I fish for sharks, I use plastic bottles as my floats.
Love them.
Yeah, much better than balloons or anything like that. And I've got some elastic. I got the elastics that we use to pack our parachutes with. So it's like a thick elastic band, and you just put that around the bottle, and then you pull a loop of the line up and tuck it underneath the elastic, so that you fix it in place. And then when the shark takes, it just pulls the loop out of the bottle, and the bottle's then just free running on the line there, so it doesn't get in the way. I think. Are you able to see the what's going on in the chat?
No.
Okay. You should be able to. You perhaps just have to click on something.
Yes, I can now.
Charlotte said good night.
That's my daughter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got that.
Bless her.
Yeah, which is obviously very proud of you.
It's not my daughter. My daughter's Emily, but she's on my wife's account.
Okay. Yeah, the world seems to got far more complicated than when it was when I was having kids. My grandchildren are very complicated. Yeah, I'm just going to go and get a packet of crisps. I need something to chomp on. Stand by, son. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll leave you to manage the chat, Alex.
Well, I'm not very good at this. I'm just good at fishing. Well, fire a message and I'll reply what you want to see. If it's bass, pike, I've just got back into pike fishing again. Yeah, lure fishing for pike, lure fishing for bass, love it. Just obviously with pike, I've always said bigger the lure, bigger the pike. I've always said that. But I would love to catch them off the surface. Would love to catch a pike off the surface. And Chris is saying is with a fly, it would just be amazing. Is to catch them off the surface.
Yeah, as I say, there's some videos of some guys in Finland or up in the north of Sweden or whatever, and fly fishing, and they're using popping flies, and you just see this eruption of the pike taken, you know. But they're targeting pike that are all over a metre in length. So yeah, Billy Bob's here. Look.
Hey, good old Billy Bob. So that's where you went wrong the other night. You didn't have your cup of tea, and you didn't have your piece of cake. You had the tea, you didn't have the cake.
No. Well, today
I had the cake.
Well, today on the beach, every time I tried to have a cup of tea, my rod started going. It was about an hour. I kept getting the flask out, and then the rod would be going.
How did those worms get on for you?
Mate, awesome. I agree what you're saying. I don't think everyone's using bloody black lug. No one's using blow lug, and it's the second time I've used blow lug. I got some blow lug from Tony's the other day, and it was great. Fished really well.
My old man, he swears by them. He swears by them, and he smashes all her sea comps. He loves them.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely loves them.
Them and fresh outs. I think fresh out black lug as well. No, are good because they're like little baits. They're like taste bombs, aren't they? Because they pop as soon as a fish bite them.
As long as you use them there and then, they're good. Third roller, done.
Yeah. Those worms, a few of them were a bit past their sell-by date, but the dabs love that anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks very much for those.
That's all right. Like I say, if you caught fish on them, that's all I wanted. I didn't want money.
No. Well, I definitely caught fish of them. I need to come down with you because I need to learn how to pump again. I always used to pump, but the pump I used to use was a 2-inch diameter, and it was hard work.
Big a 50 mil Aldi.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And I'm used.
Yeah.
22 mil. 22 mil pump I use.
Yeah. And it's a different technique. You scoped
my car out.
Mate, I did. I had a little smooch around.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because you go in at an angle and take them out from an angle, or you go down the cast?
It's very hard for the time of the year.
Yeah.
Very hard. To Lawrence, it's a Savage Gear Burbot.
Yeah.
I've got it in a silvery black colour with a red running through its belly. but I've just ordered a Fire Tiger one, so I'm going to try that hopefully Saturday to see what difference that makes.
I think what at Waller's Haven that probably worked well at Waller's because the water's a lot more cloudy at Waller's. And I think
Yes,
you need
yes,
something
definitely.
brighter. But I think where we were the other day, I think you can probably get away with like naturals because they can see a bit further.
Well, especially further up, obviously
Yeah.
where we was catching,
Yeah.
it's a lot more clearer. As in,
We can't say where we were. It's secret.
No, as in what I said, it's the Paradise Stretch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to go up there for mullet in the after the close season actually.
Yeah. But I found out a little bit more with the stretch further up. Like I said, I was interested in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I found out some more information on that one.
Okay. Where our man in blue was, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting to know.
Yes. Yes. I found out some more on that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll speak about it.
So that'd be another little session to have a little talk about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as I was saying, the problem with most of these waters, they've all been fished a million times. There's probably not a fish in there that's not been caught at some stage.
Oh yeah.
It's finding a bit of virgin water is what you need.
Well,
I told you about
like I said,
that. Yeah.
That one I caught, my PV, was caught 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's why I put it on
Just
the video. £24, wasn't it? Then
just shows how hungry they are.
Well, they're coming out of hibernation, aren't they? Basically, they're starting to get active again, and they're fattening up to start breeding. So they will be feeding quite voraciously now. And as you say, with the air pressure, you need to keep an eye on that.
That plays a big part.
Yeah,
because
I've never bothered with that, but it does make a difference, doesn't it?
I'm going to go up Saturday, and then obviously see how it works again because it's going back up to, I think it's a 1,028. I think that's going back up to. Whereas we fished 1,012. So we'll see how that works. Whether
you know, 2013 is like the mean. It's what if you're flying, if you go above 3,000 feet, you set your altimeter to 1,013. It's QFE or QNH or whatever. So it's kind of the mean air pressure. So if it's lower than that, it's low pressure. If it's higher than that, it's high pressure. So.
Whereas with obviously
the river by the tunnel is a good also. Is that what for mullet or for pike? I need to put a new battery in it. It keeps kicking on off. Oh right, okay. Pike by the tunnel. You're talking about the Kufel tunnel. Hey Rich, how you doing, mate?
No, I think he's on about by the Tesco's. By Tesco's, it's quite good.
I had a quite a nice bass at the back of Tesco's last year. Probably £3 or £4.
Yes, I remember that actually. Seeing that.
Yeah, I was fishing for mullet and I was using a mullet spoon. And what is it? And mullet has been my bête noire. I just can't catch the bloody things.
Sit on your hands fishing, that is.
Yeah. Well, no, because if you're fishing with a spoon, you're casting to fish. It's sight fishing. You're looking for them, really. Yeah. My grandkids, Rich and Leo, I haven't seen them I've probably seen them this weekend, maybe. But Marley's mum's had COVID, so he's coughing. I mean, he's tested negative, but she's tested negative now, but she has had COVID. He's gone. Alex has dropped out. Don't know what's happened there. I don't know if everyone else can hear me or not. Oh, mate, you dropped out. I don't know what happened
Yeah, no, I pressed the wrong button.
there. Easily done. Easily done. Okay. Cheers. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Lawrence. It was just that Alex disappeared, but he pressed the wrong button.
Okay.
I don't know how many people are on here now. It's weird on these chats. You get quite a lot of people on it, just sit in the background, don't partake in any shape or form. I'm surprised Val's not in there. Oh, press the wrong button again. So Sharksmith Angling.
Done it again.
Yeah, it's all right. It's easily done. As I say, I try not to touch anything because I inevitably I'll shut it down or do something. The number of lives I've had going that just died because I've been messing around and they've gone. Oh, eight watching, 8 likes. Well, that's cool. Yeah, chats are good, aren't they? And as you say, there are a lot of people. I mean, there's 8 people watching, but how many people are actually interacting? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's only about 5 people really interacting. But welcome to the people that sit in the background and quietly watch and listen and enjoy. Please feel free to say something. Big puff of smoke come out of the screen then. Oh, 5 watching, 8 likes. All
right. Stops me vaping. It stops me smoking. So.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably discover in about 40 years' time that it causes your legs to fall off or something like that. But,
probably.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, they used to advertise cigarettes as being good for you when I was a kid. So,
well, just like my mate Ben, he still catches fish with no legs, though.
Yeah, no, true. Ben, yeah. I think I'd rather catch him with legs, but bless him. I think it's a bit of an anniversary for him at the moment. He's put something up on Facebook.
Yeah, he's. I fish with him a lot, and he just amazes me every time we go out.
Mm.
The guy's just a built animal.
Mm.
Whatever knocks him down, he just gets up and does it. So, full respect to him.
CJ looks like Mark Wahlberg, do I?
Fuck me, I'm not watching his new film. Plus, they have
He was in
cars.
a film. He was in a film about porn stars where he was Dirk Diggler. When that Mark Wahlberg. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else. Yeah.
No idea.
Hey, Jacob. Right, I think it's 10:15. We'll keep it going for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to call it a night. I think I've got to actually do some work tomorrow. You press that bloody button again, haven't you? I've actually got some work to do tomorrow, which is a bit of a blow. Yeah, so back to what I was asking about shark fishing. So, what are you after? Blues or porgies or greetings, Earthlings. Greetings, Jacob Seats 12. I've got to look at the video footage from today. Actually, I'm going to have to put that into the system. I'm desperate to see it because I've been trying something different. The GoPro camera I've got, it's got a thing called hindsight on it. So you leave it running, and basically it records 30 seconds in a loop from before the moment you press the buttons. So you're getting the bites. So instead of putting the camera on and saying, "Oh, I've had a really good bite," you actually get to see the bite. So I want to see how good that is because it seemed to be working quite well today. So I want to something I want to perfect. Cheers, Richard. Thank you very much for that. Alex, you must have pressed the button again. Or...
No, I walked into my garage and it has a big Irish J running through it, which is crap for signal.
I couldn't believe on the beach today. I walked 4 feet up from where I was sitting on the beach and I suddenly had a phone signal. I did not have a phone signal.
The same damn Dungeness. You got to walk right to the top of the beach, which is a hike. Just to get a phone signal. But like I say, I fish a lot.
I was fishing from the top of the beach at Dungeness last time I was there, so I was able to do a live from there. But yeah, you're right. Once you get down the bottom, and of course you've got the bloody nuclear power station next to you, so it's probably going to affect the signal as well.
Yeah, definitely. But I fish a lot on all the undercliffs along the south coast, and yeah, no signal.
No. Which is a bit of a worry because if you got a call for help because you've broken your leg down there, it'd be nice to have a phone signal.
Well, it's obviously the wife worries. I message her saying, right, just turned up, got my gear ready. I'll go down. The next time she has to hear from me is when I've got back to the car. So she don't know what happens.
And if you're anything like me, I'm just going to have one more cast. Well, one more. I'm going to be out at 8. Well, it's now 10 o'clock. I'm just having one more cast. So I think my girlfriend knows that. She knows that she's expecting me back at 8 o'clock, but she does worry.
Yeah. And one plus thing to all your viewers: do not wear waders on rock pools if you're fishing.
No.
One top tip.
No, I agree. I've had arguments with people about it, and I've said, look, if you're wearing waders, they will pull you under. I don't think the waders pull you under, but if you start to struggle, what happens is they fill up with water, and the more you struggle, then it makes you go backwards in the water, makes you go down rather than up.
Well, your waders will suck to your skin. They will suck to whatever clothing you've got because they're filling up with water. That's what they're designed to do. So they will pull you down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've seen people landing and launching their boats from where I've got to keep my boat wearing waders, and I think, if you got swept under, you've had it. The best things to wear, waterproofs, and all the old sailors, all the old fishermen used to wear, is the Peter Storms, the big baggy yellow waterproof trousers because the water flows through them. So
Yeah.
it'll keep water off. But if you took a wave over the top, it would just go straight through the leggings and out the bottom. And that's why all the fishermen wear them, because they are safe. But as you say, wearing
Yeah,
waders, they are a death trap.
it's not always about fish safety. Worry about your own
No.
safety
Yeah,
first.
no, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
one of the things that I've started doing on my boat now, I always wear a life jacket. I never used to, but I always, well, I
Please
say
do.
always, I forget. I get out of saying,
Please.
I haven't got my life jacket on. But it's because I've had 30 or 40 years of not wearing them. But I think after that trawler went down last year, it brought it home to me that it's not worth it. You've got to have a life jacket on.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was a family member of mine. So,
Yeah.
Robert,
Okay. Yeah.
he was a family member. So, life
Yeah.
jackets,
Well, I think.
waders, don't
Yeah.
bother.
Yeah.
On the shingle,
I think.
fine.
Yeah. But even on shingle, I mean, like particularly beaches like Chesil, there's people get swept off Chesil every year. You
Yeah.
get the roadway will come up that bloody shingle bank and will sweep you down the shingle, and you don't get a foot in. It just takes your feet away, and you get swept out.
With
If you've got waders on, I think.
with chisel, people do not understand the swell. It looks all
Yeah.
right, but that swell pushes up 70 feet up that beach,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it pulls that shingle down so
Yeah.
hard. It is a
Yeah.
hard beach to fish.
Yeah. Dangerous beach. Dangerous beach. I mean, and Seaford Beach, to be quite honest, is nearly as steep. I've seen people going and swimming in Seaford, and you think you're stupid. The undertow on those waves and you're being battered by stones, so you can't get any footing.
But then, to be fair, I spend a lot of my time on that beach,
Mm.
and I've had a couple of near misses. But to be fair,
I used to launch a bloody sib off there, and I've turned over twice coming in on Seaford Beach. Twice I've actually flipped the
I
bloody sib coming on that beach.
I had my fishing kayak off of there, and
Mm.
same again. When I first got it, the first thing I did is I said to the missus, "What, we're going down Tide Mills. I'm going to
Yeah.
launch it in a couple of foot of water, and this is what if you're going to get a fishing kayak, is learn to tip
Back
yourself
on it.
over and get back
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
because
that's the first thing.
when you're in 40 foot of water, you want to know how to get back on that
Yeah, no, absolutely.
100 foot of water, whatever."
I've got a fishing kayak as well. Me and a mate both bought kayaks at the same time. That was the first thing we did. Is we went out off Seaford Beach and we fell out of them and climbed back on them a couple of times just so you knew that you could do it.
Because
Yeah, you're right.
it
The
is a
first thing
big
to do.
panic. You've got to
Yeah,
know to calm your mind down, float on the surface, and then
yeah,
kick like hell and get yourself back on.
yeah. Go across it 90 degrees across the thing, lie on it, and then turn yourself round and get back on it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Get everything, all your gear on a lanyard, and then you're fine.
The only thing you got to be careful with lanyards and stuff like that is it's things that are going to tangle your legs up. So, but yeah.
But by the time you've sort of figured out what you're going to do, hopefully they've all dropped down, so they're underneath you,
Yeah.
and then you can retrieve them back up.
Yeah. I had as I say, I've still got the sieve. I used it about 2 years ago. I must take it out more actually. It's quite good fun. But coming back on, you go out when it's calm. When you come back, there's quite a swell on that beach. And what happens, because it's such a steep break, that you'll be following a wave in, and the wave literally just collapses under you.
Mm.
And the front end of the boat will go nose down like that, and the following wave flips you upside down. And there was one moment when I was underneath my bloody sib, and I could hear the outboard boat, the propeller going around next to me. Oh, I didn't. I mean, I'm so
You don't want that.
And there was all these people on the beach watching, which was the most embarrassing part of it. You kind of you dust yourself off on the beach. Oh, I meant to do that.
Yeah, glad you didn't have CJ written all over it. Right, CJ, nice to chat to you and all the rest of your group, but I'm going to hit myself off to bed. So, tight lines, everyone, and stay safe.
And you, buddy. I'll see you again.
Cheers, bud.
Hopefully go and take that. Going to have a 26-pounder.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, maybe.
See you later.
See you, buddy. See ya. Yeah, safety rope to flip it back over. To be honest with you, it all happened too quick. There was no flipping it back over because the wave collapsed under me. So I'm in the surf with the boat on top of me with the engine still turning over because obviously it flipped itself back over again. Yeah, it's one of those school days. Just every day out at sea's a school day. You try something else, and it just something else will happen. So never think you know it all because you don't. There's always another lesson. Yeah, I never did really perfect the art of landing on the Seaford beach when there was a surf running because you can't even surf it in because, as I say, the waves come in and they stand back like that, and then they go because the undertow from the previous wave drives back against the front of the wave that you're riding in. That's dangerous, very dangerous. I think the biggest thing about that day is all my fish. I had about half a dozen bass on board, and they all got swept away. Piss off. Right, so chronic maths debater. Are you still on there, Mr. Chronic Maths Debater? Don't think we're going to be doing any of that. Yeah, mate, always learning, always learning. I will never purport to be an expert. I think I try and make the point in my videos is that I'm learning, and this is the way I will do it until I learn something different. Doesn't necessarily mean it's right. I was thinking about it today actually because I've probably been fishing, sea fishing. First sea fish I caught, in fact, probably the first fish I ever caught, 2 dabs off the beach in Wales, and that would have been 55 years ago. Yeah, it must have been getting on for 55 years ago, and might have been 56 years ago. And I know nothing. I really don't. I learn something new every day. What I learned today? I learnt that manky old blow lug outfishes everything else at the moment. So blow lug is the way forward. We need to go and get some blow lug. The trouble with blow lugs, you can't keep them, so you've got to go and dig the bloody things and go fishing the next day, really. Am I going to give out with Mr. Locker this year? What do you mean, give out? Oh, go out with him. I hope so. Yeah, we keep in touch. He did actually. He texted me the other day and said he hadn't heard from me for a while. And I was apologetic. So we'll be going down to Cornwall. When we go down there, we'll go and see him. See if I can get him to take me out or do something. Go and do. One of the things I've got too many things to do. To be honest, I need to practice. I need to practice my free diving. I need to get better at it. Because I have been out with him a couple of times, but he just beats me at it. He gets down and stays down. I can't get down that deep, and I need to be wearing more lead. And it's about learning to have confidence in it. So I might do a bit more of that around Seaford. The problem with off Seaford is that the water clarity is seldom good enough to actually do it and enjoy it. But I will do some this year, definitely. And I'll go out with John and do that with him. I want to go and do some more rock fishing. I want to go out. I want to spend more time in Cornwall. The other person that I want to spend time with, and I was going to be there last weekend, but I suddenly realised I've got to do my tax return. Is Nathan from Slippy Limpets. So I don't know if you watch his channel, but it's very good. He's a really nice bloke, and I've got an open invite to go up there and stay with him. Not stay with him, but to go out fishing with him. I did text him yesterday and say, are we still on for a road trip? Because I quite fancy a road trip up there. If I'm going to catch a cod this year, for sure, I think that's my best chance to go up to Northumbria and have a go. So it's a 6 or 7 hour drive. But maybe weekend after next I might give that a go. Well, no, actually he's going to Orkney for 2 weeks, so I'll have to wait till he gets back. And Jason Scott and I got lots of plans to do stuff together as well. Yeah, so all of those things. Yeah, water clarity is shite. The trouble with Seaford, all along this coast, is the chalk. If you get 7 or 8 days of calm, the water clarity improves. It's never perfect, but you only have to have 1 day of blow, and then it takes another 7 or 8 days to clear again. So you're always going to get caggy water here, which is a shame. But I mean, I've seen like gin. Yeah, but it's one of those long hot summers. And then you go down to Cornwall, you go in the sea in Cornwall, and you just think, oh, this is so clean. Yeah, he's great, isn't he? I mean, I have to say, I've told him that if I come up there and come fishing with him, I am not climbing down in frigging cliffs. He was a mountaineer. I mean, I've done a bit of mountaineering, but many years ago, my knees and my ankles and my feet aren't up to it anymore, and I would fall off without doubt. I would stumble, and I would plummet. So I'm not climbing down them frigging cliffs with him. You can keep that. But yeah, I want to go out fishing rock marks out there, fish the beach with him. He's also been doing a bit of course fishing. He went perch fishing recently on a big reservoir. So one of the things I could do is take my kayak up with it and go fishing on kayaks. Yeah, no, good. If you haven't watched him, the people on here, if you haven't watched Slippy Olympics, please watch his channel, subscribe to it, press all the like buttons and everything like that. He is worth watching. And he does catch cod, which most of us don't. What's up, Doodle? Do you want to come and be on the video? Come on, come on. Come on. Come on, then. Come on, then. What's up? You got there? Come on, be. No licking. The dog can see himself on the television, on the screen, staring at himself. Just saying, who's that, Peter? Who's that? Who's that on there? Yeah, I think it's a case, Jay, that if the fish are in front of him, you'll catch him, and there are cod in front of him, so he's going to catch him. I tell you what, though, he catches a lot of coalfish. Now, I've caught one coalfish out of Brighton many years ago. I went out on a charter. You can't get on the screen with the dog, and we had a coalfish. But I hear that there've been a few caught off the beach recently. There was one caught off Seaford the other day, and there's been a couple off Seaford Head. So it's interesting. There's changes that are going on. Now, I would have always said that coalfish are a cold water fish. And I've also heard it said that the reason we're not seeing any cod is because the water temperatures have increased down here. But why are we seeing coalfish then? Weird, very strange. And the other thing I've heard said, I was talking to Glyn in Anger's Den this week actually, and I was saying what I've just said, and he said, yeah, but there's another fish that's disappeared, and that has no commercial pressure on it whatsoever, and that has disappeared, and that is the rockling. This time of the year, up through till March, you would catch hundreds of rockling fish, particularly during the day. In fact, I broke my ankle 30 years ago, and it was what kept me sane. I'd go down and I'd fish on the beach during the day and catch rockling because it just, they give you a big rattling bite, and it was a fish. You put them back, but it was just a bit of sport and it just kept me occupied whilst I was hobbling around on crutches. You do see rockling, but you don't see anything like the numbers that we used to get. So why is that? Why is that? Now, I think it was the other way around. I would suggest it would be the other way around because cod eat rockling. If there was a lot of cod, you could say that's why there's no rockling because the cod are eating it, but there aren't any cod. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of seals around. There didn't used to be seals on this coast, but there are. I don't know. I don't think the answer that everyone gives. Oh, it's big industrial trawlers sucking up all the fish. I'm sure that's part of it, but I don't think it's all that. I think there's more. Who knows? I'm not a great believer in all this global warming malarkey. I think we're in a cycle when the climate is warming up. But I don't know. Don't know what the reasons are. Now we're seeing fish now along this coast that we didn't see 40 years ago. You didn't catch rays on this coast 40 years ago. You got smoothhounds, but not many. But now there'll be a good run of smoothhounds this year, probably, hopefully. You used to catch thousands of spur dogs along here out at sea, but you don't see them at all. They've just vanished. So I don't know what's going on. Times change. Anybody got an answer? Anybody else got a suggestion as to why things are changing like they are? Right, guys and girls, I am going to call this a night and end this broadcast. I've got a bit of video that I want to look at from today, see how it went. It's going to take me a while to edit that, I think. So it'll be a few days before that comes out. Hey Jay, I think it's baffled greater minds than you or mine. As I say, I don't think it. I think it's too easy to jump out and say it's climate change, it's this, it's that. It's all because of people burning plastic and whatever. I think it's more complex, it's more complicated. This whole idea of all the trawlers and everything like that. If you looked off 30, 40 years ago, if I went down to the beach now, 30 years ago, and I looked out to sea, I would see 6 or 7 trawlers all going up and down. They're not there now. They've all gone. All those little trawlers have gone. Now, if that's repeated all the way along the south coast, the big industrial trawlers that come up and suck up all those fish, they probably didn't have the impact that all those little trawlers had. And they've gone. They've all disappeared. They've all been scrapped. There was this big scrappage thing they did. Interestingly enough, the government have funded New Haven to try and reinstigate the fishing industry along here. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes stuff. It'd be nice to see New Haven as operating like a port instead of just a yachting marina. I mean, we can get some fresh fish out of the fish markets. Right, as I was saying, it is 20 to 11. I am going to call it a night now, and I'm going to go and catch you all in the next one. Thank you very much for joining me on this chat. I hope it didn't turn too much of a rant. It was nice to get Alex on here on the StreamYard thing. I desperately want to get that set up so that me and Jason can be doing it, and we can be fishing on two different beaches, and we can be streaming live, but almost competing with each other. That would be good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how many's left in. It might only be you and me on here, Jake. It's only you and me that's talking. Yeah, Mickey Baines, Rich and Leo, Florence Lancaster. I think Chronic Masturbator is. I don't know who you are. Jacob C12. I don't know if he's still here. Richie Jar. Richie's gone to bed. He said good night quite a while ago. Yeah, so guys and gals, thank you very much for joining me. I am out of here. Bye.